Good afternoon, I am Marco.
And I'm Dennis.
And we would like to welcome you to the educational session about how to achieve more efficiency and durability in window and building products performance.
We will demonstrate to you how to achieve low heat buildup of color window profiles and other building elements with the scientific method of total solar reflection, TSR.
The highly heat reflective Cool Color Plus exterior laminates made by the Surface Solution division of Continental is the most advanced surface finish to achieve the maximum technical performance and aesthetical appeal for fenestration products. At the end of the session, we will also demonstrate the long-term outdoor performance of our exterior laminates, such as weather resistance, as well as resistance against other external factors that can have an impact on the finished surface. We will also introduce you to the latest trends in colors and designs. Everybody who is into building products, or everyone who has windows and doors, and we suppose that the majority of the people have them, know how harsh the elements can be on them and on their performance.
One major factor in their performance is to prevent warping and distortion, which is directly related to the heat buildup.
In a nutshell, based on the concept that prevention is better than cure, you want to keep your windows, doors, and other building elements as cool as possible by any means. And this is where the patented Cool Color technology by Continental outperforms any other surface finish, and this is successfully proven on a global level since many years.
A rather simple method to test the heat buildup of a building element is by resorting to the ASTM D4803 method, which has been the standard method up to recently, and which we will demonstrate now in a field setting.
Here we have two identical profiles, both laminated with apparently the same laminate, but they are actually two different laminates. One is our popular Cool Color Plus laminate, the jet black, and the other laminate is an alternative option from a different manufacturer. This could also be a comparison between our Cool Color Plus laminate and capstock or paint, which will lead to similar results. As you can see, both profiles have the same temperature of about 81 degrees Fahrenheit at the same location of measuring.
Now we will turn on this special lamp to simulate the radiation of sunlight in accordance to the ASTM D4803, and we'll follow closely how the exposure to radiation will have an impact on the heat buildup of two window profiles. Please look closely to the rise in temperature over time of the measuring locations on the two separate profiles.
As you can see now, after just a few minutes of exposure to the radiation emitted by the lamp, one of the profiles became significantly hotter than the other one. You can guess now which profile is laminated with our Cool Color Plus laminate. Of course, the cooler one, because it is Cool Color. Let's have a look at the final temperatures. We're comparing here 167 degrees Fahrenheit on the non-Cool Color laminate compared to just 147 degrees Fahrenheit of the Cool Color Plus laminate.
As you can see here, both profiles are pretty dark, and they are laminated on the same profile shape. But if you would be here now and touch the profiles, you would feel the difference, what Cool Color Plus is.
And one of the laminates, as mentioned earlier, is our Cool Color Plus Jet Black, and the other one is an alternative option from a different market player. As previously mentioned, the ASTM D4803 will provide an additional indication of the thermal performance of a building product, but precision matters.
Customers have confronted us on several occasions with the fact that the gap of the measure result obtained by the ASTM D4803 method have not been as large as the measured results obtained from real heat buildup measurements taken in the field over a period of days, weeks, and even months, where the gap was significantly higher than the ASTM D4803 method.
Therefore, the following explanatory video will show you in an easy way what TSR is and how measuring the TSR value is a precise and very versatile method, and why it is nowadays the state-of-the-art method. Afterwards, we will be right away back for more insights.
The new TSR test procedure. Outdoor surface temperatures. Nowadays, windows and profiles must meet a variety of requirements. The surface of the profile is coated with a film, and therefore quality and design must convince. The choice of the right material is crucial in order to keep product failures and complaints to a minimum. The challenge is that strong sunlight causes the window profiles to heat up, which increases the risk of mechanical product failures. The result of this is that windows and doors can no longer be opened or closed properly. For several years, attempts have been made to reproduce this heating process in the laboratory using different measurement methods. The current heat buildup testing method simulates sunlight in the laboratory by means of a special IR lamp. The heat that it produces is then measured. Unfortunately, the measurements were not comparable with real-life outdoor situations. The artificial light source cannot adequately simulate the sunlight. The individual wavelength ranges have different, even contradictory values. What's the solution? No stone was left unturned in the search for a new and more reliable measurement method. Finally, some of the methods investigated have been convincing. The solution? In a spectrometer, specific wavelengths are sent to the surface that is being measured. The reflected radiation is recorded by the device and added together to give the total solar reflection, or TSR. The more radiation a material reflects, the less heat is generated. TSR values are given as percentages. Because light-colored materials reflect more radiation, they have a higher TSR value than darker colors. Hundreds of measurements outdoors have confirmed that there is a clear link between the TSR value and the outside temperature. The TSR value makes it easy to predict surface temperatures. Firstly, the black and white standards are measured. For example, in Middle Europe on a cloudless day, and with an outdoor temperature of 102 degrees Fahrenheit, 167 degrees Fahrenheit on the black standard, and 111 degrees Fahrenheit on the white will be reached. These two standards and the specific TSR value of the film can be used to predict the temperature of other shades, such as jet black, on the day of measurement. At Continental, we have developed the patented Cool Colors and Cool Colors Plus technologies to enhance windows and make them more durable. Our high-quality films reflect much more solar radiation than other materials. Let's continue with our example. The TSR value of our film is approximately 37%, while other black surfaces are only around 5%. Thus, our Cool Colors Plus Black foil attains a temperature difference on the profile of 22 degrees Fahrenheit. The Cool Colors and Cool Colors Plus finishes give window profiles the best possible protection against sunlight every day. Your colored windows do not become so hot and are therefore more durable. You can find out more via our contact form on our website.
Since the beginning of the production of the exterior laminates in the early 80s and their global success story, we have been testing these laminates to the harshest conditions worldwide by means of artificial accelerated weathering and also real-time weathering at multiple global locations.
Here are, for example, two sets of samples tested at long-term outdoor weathering sites of independent testing institutes at the sites in Phoenix, Arizona and Homestead, Florida. Those locations represent one of the harshest conditions in terms of UV radiation and humidity that examples can be exposed to. As one can see, there are no noticeable changes in color or integrity of the layer of the laminates even after many years of exposure.
Tastes and trends are very different worldwide, and laminates are no exception to this. What sells well in one global region does not necessarily sell in another one. But one trend has been universal on a global level in the last couple of years, and that is the trend towards darker colors, and in case of North America, especially black. Continental was the first company to present to the market in 2016 a true deep black, very well known in the market as our jet black. And still up to date, our jet black is the darkest black in the market with the lowest heat buildup, as we have demonstrated in the previous heat buildup demonstration. If you want the best performing laminate for any climate zone, make sure you ask for the patented Cool Color Plus, easily identifiable with the white backer of the laminate. Here we see the white backer. Talking about solid colors, the latest trend in the industry are matte finishes with a very low gloss, and Continental has launched this year the new Matex product line, which has the flattest matte ever in this industry, with a gloss level of 2. This stunning surface effect is achieved by a PVDF coating above the last top layer of the laminate and a special embossing process, which adds as additional great feature to the Matex program an excellent scratch resistance, easy to clean, resistance to severe surface contaminations such as graffiti, and high resistance to salt spray. And also our jet black is now available in a Matex version, enlarging the jet black laminate versions to 4 different embossings and surface finishes as of 2020. Prior to the launch of the Matex product line this year, Continental launched in 2018 the WoodEck program, a wood grain surface that, thanks to its visual effect and the tactile elegance, creates such a high quality overall impression that is almost indistinguishable from real wood. As we see here, 3 samples of our WoodEck laminates applied on window profiles. Also, the WoodEck program is equipped with the additional PVDF coating above the last top layer of the laminate. Following the trend of dark colors, we have also launched a very unique design within the Matex program to combine the trend of black with a high-end wood grain appearance, such as the WoodEck program. This combination has led to our new Kitami Dark, a charred wood grain black wood in the style of the traditional Japanese art of charring and preserving wood. Here we see our most popular color in the market, our jet black, as it is currently sold, and also in our new Matex version, applied onto a vinyl window profile as well as on aluminum extrusion. And here our 3 most popular WoodEck designs started with the Sheffield Oak Concrete, the Turner Oak Toffee, which is a new addition in 2020, and the Turner Oak Malt. What we see here are our exterior laminates applied to final building products. On this side, an entrance door with our WoodEck Turner Oak Malt and a matching window to it. On this side, our Sheffield Oak Concrete on exterior cladding, and last but not least, our popular jet black Cool Color Plus on a patio door, laminated on the exterior side, and on the interior side we have our WoodEck Sheffield Oak Concrete.
For the audience who is wondering how a laminate is being applied, I will briefly explain the process. A profile wrapping machine, or in case of a flat lamination, a sheet-to-sheet laminator, is used. The surface of the substrate, for example a window profile, is in the first step of the process chemically pre-treated to ensure later an optimum adhesion of the adhesive to the substrate. This happens by various means of surface preparations, but the most common one is the application of a primer. The second step of the process is the application of the adhesive on the backside of the film. which then subsequently is getting laminated on top of the substrate, and in case of profile wrapping, then continuously wrapped around the individual shape by moving the application rollers, which tuck in the laminate into grooves and the bends of the shape of the profile. These application rollers can be adjusted to nearly any shape. Thus, it's very universal and it is a continuous process.
Usually, we have also a wrapping line of one of our industry partners on our Glassbuild booth to demonstrate the equipment and to explain the process. But unfortunately, at this venue today, it was not feasible to incorporate. I, for my own part, are now looking back onto more than 20 years experience on a global level in the exterior laminate and lamination industry. And Dennis, how about you?
I'm for about 10 years now in this industry and I'm looking forward for more.
Exciting times, isn't it? Especially as the North American market is moving at an increasing faster pace from other finishes to laminates, following the global trend. And we gladly share our experience and know-how with our customers.
Now let's join Marco and Dennis live at their Glass Connect booth, and we are happy to answer your questions. Please use the Q&A box on the Zoom feed, and Marco and Dennis are here to answer your questions.
As you see, we actually are on our booth. We decided to really build a booth, and I got confirmed by the NGA we're actually the only exhibitor who went that far to build a booth. And we'll go right away in question and answers.
We've had quite a few come in through the question and answer right now. One question we have from the audience is, how reliable is the color hold from one batch to another one, meaning one delivery of laminate versus another one months or years later?
So for this question, we can say that our internal processes and quality specs, they are that close to each other and that ensured, and we test our quality that repetitively, that you won't see any difference in between one batch to another one with the same color that you can even see by eye. So basically what you could do, you could mix and match different batches of the same color in one window and you wouldn't even see a difference by the eye.
I have another question here. How long will the laminates last, withstand the elements? Well, these laminates were invented in the early 80s and they perform since then. And there's actually still several projects from the early times of the application of the laminates out in the market, which we document and we regularly visit. And as I said, they're still performing and they're still fine. So up to date, since the invention of those laminates, they're still performing. We have another question here. How can the laminates be repaired out in the field if they have been damaged by, for example, impact or similar? So the laminated surface itself can be touched up and repaired by, for example, touch-up pens. These are also being used for the corner welds, for example. These are in the same color as each individual laminate, and they are obviously UV resistant. They can also be used for smaller repairs. And for example, if you have cavities or holes in a window because somebody had an impact on it or somebody drilled a hole in it or whatever happened, there's actually also a certain type of hard wax which will be melted into the cavity, smoothen out, and it comes in the same color as the laminate. You'll put a transparent lacquer on top of it, and from a distance of 3 to 5 feet, you will not see a difference. And there's much more possibilities of field repair, really high-end field repairs where you won't barely be able to see a difference from before to after.
We have a question on how easy is it for the laminate to be cleaned?
Well, just for cleaning, it's not, let's say even without any contamination on top of it, all what you need for cleaning is literally just a cloth out of cotton microfiber with water. You can also do a water mild detergent solution. That's all what you really need. There's no specific cleaner necessary to clean the laminate surface itself. It is easy to clean. In some cases, even self-cleaning depending on the surface finish.
Great, thanks. And I guess this kind of relates to that too in terms of cleaning, especially in these days where people are very rigorous in the types of cleaning that they are doing on surfaces. So how well does the laminate hold up to extensive types of cleaning, or are there certain chemicals that should not be used to clean the laminate?
Well, we have specific cleaning instructions and details which we hand out to our customers, and they usually forward these and incorporate them in their documents for their customers. Certainly nothing really aggressive cleaners should be used out there. And you would also always want to contact with your supplier regarding any cleaning products you want to use on the laminate. But again, as mentioned, the laminates are really easy to clean, nearly self-cleaning with the simplest method. So it's not really necessary to use any aggressive agents onto the laminate surface.
Great, thanks. Another question then talks about how well does the bond or the adhesion of the laminate to the substrate profile hold up over time?
Well, for this process, there's an adhesive used that attaches the film to the substrate, for example, window profile. Those adhesives has been developed to withstand the severest conditions out there in terms of temperature, humidity. So they are really strong, and there are also extreme tests that they have to perform. There's a test called like the hydrolysis test, where the laminate with the adhesive and the profile is in the chamber with roughly 160 Fahrenheit and 98% humidity for 7 weeks. And you can check afterwards even how good the bonding is after these severe conditions. And because that adhesive is cross-linked, the initial strength of the adhesive, just to give you a simple example how good it is, if you would laminate like a 3-inch wide profile with the laminate, and then you could even attach a 65-pound weight on the laminate, and it wouldn't delaminate, peel, or nothing would happen.
As an example, we are Continental, of course, is a member of the FGIA, formerly known as AMA, and all of our exterior laminates fulfill the AMA spec 307, which includes also a so-called peel strength test, where the applicator of the laminate tests after the lamination the strength of the bond. And this will show what Dennis just explained. There's a certain resistance the peel test has to have. And basically, once those adhesives have reacted, the state-of-the-art adhesives which are used out there in the market are reactive polyurethane adhesives, and once they have reacted, they will not be able to be reactivated. So the bond is permanent, and it is a high-strength bond.
And basically, it will not peel or something like this. You won't see anything. To sum this all up, pretty simple.
Great, thank you so much. And we have a comment, and I think also an invitation for you to kind of walk us through your booth and some of the wonderful exhibits that you've put together. Not a question, but a thank you for going to the extra effort to set up your booth and present it for Glassbuild Connect, and how much we hope to see it in person in Atlanta. But please take a moment while we wait for some more questions to come in. If there's certain parts like the sliding glass door or your windows that you want to highlight for the audience today.
Well, maybe let's go ahead and go right away to the patio door. This is a sliding patio door. It is laminated on the inside with our Woodec Sheffield oak concrete, of which you also see the same design on the window profile. And on the outside, it is laminated with our very popular jet black. This is an increasing popular combination to go B-color, one laminate on the outside, another laminate on the inside. And it also shows the possibilities of combining different design elements. In our intro video, you saw that there is actually an entrance door besides the Woodec Turner Oak mold window over here. And all these design elements can be perfectly combined nowadays to give a building envelope a homogeneous appearance. Starting out with the window, over entrance door, You can go to siding, railing, garage door, even fencing, which you can take the design theme, the color theme with you, and you can have the same type of products and finishes on there. So it's a perfect match. Another item which sometimes I get asked, well, how easy is it to make shapes with vinyl profiles which are laminated? I actually have right here an art. So it is very easy to bend and make architectural shapes with laminated profiles.
And as you're talking about these types of shapes, can you talk about how you go about designing for the different homogeneous appearance of all of the laminate items within the building envelope?
Well, Continental, being a global player, one of the biggest plastic and rubber manufacturers worldwide, who acquired Conrad Honchar AG a couple years ago, the original manufacturer of the laminates, which still manufactures the laminate up to date. It has a lot of different product lines. Also product lines in the automotive industry, product lines in the furniture industry, product lines in the fashion industry. We get input of designs, surfaces, colors, and textures, technological trends way ahead than in other industries. This knowledge, if we combine that, we can apply it on all of our different product lines. And that's how we basically work also on designs for exterior building products. Best example is the Woodec design. The Woodec design originally came out of the interior furniture market, high-end furniture, where then the architects and designers said, we would like to have this similar type of finishes in optical and in tactical appearance also on the building products. And the jet black trend, for example, we have actually a question here. What are the biggest color trends in the US? And about what percentage of residential windows are laminated or painted? Well, as mentioned earlier, 2016, we have launched the jet black color, which up to date is still the darkest color with the lowest heat buildup. And this trend actually was born in North America, and then it made it over to Europe. And a year to a year and a half later, the jet black trend and dark color trend also took hold of Europe. Very often new color trends are born in Europe, come then a couple years later into North America. And that's just due to the different type of building elements, different type of windows, different type of construction itself, which exist in these two markets. From going forward with the trends, we definitely see that the dark color trend is continuing. Texture is more and more an important factor. That is the reason why we have launched the Matex program with a very low gloss level. It's a gloss level of only 2. And I think this program will also expand more into darker gray colors, just to give an alternative to just black, because sometimes it might be too dark to combine it with other building elements, brick, stone, siding, etc. And so interesting times for new designs.
Do you see significant differences between the US market and the European markets?
There are significant differences. One uniqueness, for example, is that in North America, the predominant exterior color is usually a solid color, whereby in Europe, for example, or South America or other global markets, the variety is much wider. There's use a lot of wood grains in all different arrays of designs. Solid color is very unique to North America. Of course, outside North America, they also use solid color, but that, just the percentage is completely different.
Great. And it wouldn't be 2020 if we didn't ask a question about how has this year impacted your supply line, your customers, all of those types of things. How have you reacted and responded to the challenges of 2020?
Well, the challenges of 2020, we kind of like noticed, thanks God, very, very early. The last exhibition which we actually participated was the IBS show, and that I think was in February. And around the time of the IBS show, we noticed that the coronavirus is starting to spread. So we decided to increase significantly our stock at our facility in Winchester, Virginia. Continental's exterior laminates are stocked and delivered out of the facility in Winchester, Virginia. So we increased our stock significantly because we anticipated that there might be issues logistically, especially logistically issues regarding transportation, sea freight, air freight, and we wanted to make sure that there's enough material available for our customers. And I must say, after the beginning of when the coronavirus really has hit the industry in the first couple of months, and then seems around mid of June, July, everything got back up, and to be honest, a lot of our customers never really stopped producing as they were deemed as essential businesses. And I must say the last couple of months have been really great, and as everybody can see, building products right now are selling very strong. Everybody who is still at home is doing something at home instead of going on vacation or anything, so they're investing in their home, and it seems that this trend is continuing, and we'll hope so.
Just out of curiosity, if you were to look into the future, where do you see product lines going, and what kind of new things do you see possibly coming on the horizon?
Well, I think with what we just launched recently, this year the Matex program, and then the new design editions of the Woodec program, we are already looking significantly in the future market. So I'm sure there's going to be new product developments, but there's such a big variety of laminates and different surface selections out there right now. So I think to add more to it would be a little bit too early, but we're certainly working always on novelties, which of course some of those we cannot disclose at this point of time.
Understood, understood. Well, we don't have any more questions at this point, Marco and Dennis, and I really do want to thank you for, again, setting up your booth, walking us through it. Any last comments, any last things you'd like to share with the audience?
Thank you very much for your time and your interest. I would also like to thank Alexis Exhibit and BVS Productions, who support, as well as the NGA, who supported us in making this really a live broadcast. And we all hope to see you in person next year.
That would be great.
Thank you again, Marco and Dennis, for all your wonderful explanations and examples.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys.